the environment that that person's living in, environment is food, the basement, friends, radio, music, television, Netflix, the refrigerator, your bedroom, your office. All of those are environments. Everything is an environment. Your mind, your body, all of those things, what you listen to is an environment. And so I'd have to ask that person, what environment are you in that's conditioned you to think, feel, and behave a certain way? Because once you understand that it's your environment that conditions you to think, feel, and behave a certain way, because if you hang out with broke people, you're going to become broke. First thing with anybody who wants to change their result is not to change their behavior, because the reason why they haven't changed their behavior in the first place is because just changing your behavior is not enough. You can't just change the way you think and feel either. You have to change the way that you're conditioned, and the way that you're conditioned is in your environments. So you need that guy, Jeff, 12 years ago, needs new friends, needs new things he watches, needs new things he listens to, needs a new room. It's probably got shit all over the floor. He needs to clean it up so he's organized, because when you're organized, you have an organized mind. And when you can be cleared in the mind, you can control how you start to behave a lot easier. When everything's messy and clouded, so are you. And so you need to go back. You don't just say, hey, Jeff, from 12 years ago, here's a new habit for you to do. Shut up. That's not going to work. For 99% of people, willpower and saying, I'm going to go to the gym, that's not enough. That's why whatever the stat is, 96% of New Year's resolutions fail, because saying you're going to change the behavior and doing it short term is not enough. And changing how you think and feel, although there's ways you can do it, that's not enough. You need to go to the absolute root cause. How do I get a new result? Well, change the behavior, change the thoughts, change the feelings. How do you do that? Change the conditioning. How do you do that? Change the environment. If I forced you into an environment where I made you the healthiest, best, successful version of you, I couldn't do that just by talking to you. I have to actually change your environment. Or I could do it by talking to you, and then you have to change your environment. And the thing that sucks for most people is their environment that they're so attached to is their friends, their family, where they live, and all of that. I've heard all the excuses. Oh, but I live in Mississippi with my parents who are broke and I can't leave. And I'm like, but Mississippi is the reason you're broke and your parents are, but you can't leave, but you want to be successful. Something has to change. And for me, I was that Jeff 12 years ago, and my own version, as many people listening might still be that person. You got to change the environment. You got to change every aspect of your life that is conditioning you to think, feel, and behave the way that you are. And the first thing is usually your friends and your family. And it doesn't mean you have to change them. It just means you have to distance yourself from letting them condition you. Oh, Jeff, don't do that. That's too risky. Don't buy Bitcoin. That's stupid. Don't go to that seminar. It's a scam. Why are you listening to this Jeff and Mark guy? Those guys are scammers. Those guys are rich douches. No, we're not. We understand. We've learned certain things. We've applied them. So I started searching on the internet. How do I become rich? How do I become successful? How do I become confident? How do I become the cool guy? And I started finding Tony Robbins and all these other people. I became obsessed. 10, 12, 14 hours a day studying that stuff. I was in the back of the classroom. If I even went, I ditched class a lot of times. I go sit on the beach and look at the mansions and listen to Tony Robbins and all this other stuff and say, I'm going to own those one day. And so I just became obsessed. Brad Sugars is a billionaire. He has a whole series of books, and it's amazing. It's like he's a billionaire, and he's the guy who taught me. He said this on stage. It was a room full of suit and ties, and I was like 18 years old. And he said, how many of you would, if you could make 10 million or 100 million or $1 billion in the next 10 years, you could achieve any business goal, personal goal, financial goal, 10 years. If all you had to do was shovel elephant poop every single day for 1 hour. And everybody's hand shot up. He's like, only 1 hour a day shoveling elephant poop. And at the end of 10 years, you'll have achieved any financial goal you want. And everybody's hand went up. These are all grown-ass adults. I'm 18 years old in the back of the room in a hoodie and a hat. And I'm like, my hand's like, okay, everyone else's hand's up. And these are all grown-ass adults with careers and businesses. And this guy's a billionaire asking the question. And then he said, now I got good news. You don't have to actually shovel elephant poop to achieve your goal in 10 years. You just have to replace the hour of shoveling elephant poop with reading a book that will get you closer to the goal. And after 10 years, an hour a day is, 365 hours. And if you do the math, an hour a day at 365 hours ends up being like 2 full months of uninterrupted work. And then you do that for 10 years, that ends up being like 2.5 years of like uninterrupted or whatever, almost 2 years of uninterrupted, nonstop, every day grinding to achieve your goals over 10 years. And he goes, you really want to be an overachiever? Read 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day. That day I left the room, I started, and within about 5 years of him saying that, I became a millionaire. And then the next year, a multimillionaire. And, and now it's, 12, 13 years later since that day. But it was all from that advice. An hour a day will pave the way. An hour a day will pave the way. Most people here don't even listen or read for 1 hour a day. So of course you're not going to change your life. Like some people do spend an hour at the gym, but they're sitting on the treadmill on their phone. And so they're like, well, I put an hour in at the gym. I'm like, no, I don't know how I could speak like a sailor if I want, but it's like, I don't know how much that person thinks that they're putting an hour at the gym versus putting in the effort in the hour. And that's the difference I want to make here is two things. One, it's not the time, it's the effort. And so that's a huge one for people to understand is you can't just like haphazardly be on your phone and reading a book. You need to just read the book. You can't be like listening to a podcast, but like doing some other activity that's distracting you from really listening. You can't go to the gym and kind of not really work out. I'm talking about for that 1 hour, it's just gym time. For that 1 hour, it's just learning time. That's the difference. You got to put in the actual effort. And then the second thing is, so it's not just doing the habit, it's the effort within the habit. Then the next thing is that you were saying, oh, well, what if the person says, oh, what if it doesn't work? If you're already talking yourself out of your goals and your dream life before you've even started on the path, then that's the first thing that needs to change. And again, it goes back to the conditioning and the environment. They're probably around a lot of people who say, oh, don't even get started on that, Jeff, because it's probably not going to work out for you. The odds of you becoming a millionaire, Jeff? That's like nothing. There's no chance you're going to become. Don't even try. Just stay at your job because there's a good chance that in 30 years you could be a millionaire if you do that. And it's like, no, I could be a multimillionaire in 12 months in today's economy if I just start my own online business or affiliate marketing or e-commerce or whatever. So that person probably is around people conditioning them to think there's no way you'll even achieve that. So don't even try. And that's the first thing right there is they need to be around people like us who help them understand that like the time is going to go by anyways. Which is why most people would rather just say the time's going to go by anyways. I'd rather work at a corporation for 30 years and know that I'm semi-guaranteed something. Where for us, nothing's guaranteed, but I know that if I put the effort in, karma, law of attraction, the universe, it usually brings to you what it shows you're putting out the effort. Like in the gym, you can't grind for an hour a day in the gym and get fat. If you're eating healthy and you're grinding in the gym, your body is naturally going to get in shape. It's the same thing. If you hang out around rich people, you get to the seminars, you listen to these amazing podcasts like Jeff's here, you read the books, you do the work, you're going to change your life.